Social studies is going to be looking a little bit different. You're going to see that you do have notes for social studies in your packet instead of online. And we're actually going to work through those together, read through it together, and then look at our notes either together or I'll explain it before I have you guys do that on your own. Today we're going to be reading through the introduction. If you remember, way before Christmas, we were talking about why the Europeans came to America, and a lot of the reasons they were looking for silver, gold, they were trying to get to Asia. And we saw how some of them treated the American Indians that were here. Some of them treated them kindly, some of them treated them poorly. And today, and in this lesson, we are going to be looking at the early English settlements. So when they came here and settled, what were some challenges that they faced? So today in our introduction, we're going to read through this short part and then go through our notes. European explorers who discovered new regions of the Americas paved the way for larger groups to follow. These groups left Europe for all kinds of reasons, but they all shared the same goal of finding a better life. Each group made the difficult voyage or trip across the Atlantic Ocean. Then they built small communities called settlements. The first three English settlements were Roanoke, Jamestown, and Plymouth. We're going to be looking all at these three settlements in the next couple days. The settlers at these places faced many challenges. Roanoke, an island off the coast of North Carolina, was the first English settlement. No one knows what happened to its settlers. Few signs of them remained when ships from England came to find them later. This is why, today, Roanoke is called the Lost Colony. Shortly after the attempt to settle Roanoke, 105 Englishmen arrived in present-day Virginia, hoping to find gold and other riches. They began a settlement called Jamestown in 1607. Despite many hardships, Jamestown became the first successful English colony in North America. A few years later, a group of 102 English people arrived in present-day New England, and that would be up in places like Boston, Maryland, Maine, that whole area, New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire, that whole area is called New England. They built a settlement called Plymouth in what is now the state of Massachusetts. Most of these people had left England to seek religious freedom. They became known as the Pilgrims. Pilgrims are people who go on a religious journey. So you hear a lot of times about the Pilgrims and the first Thanksgiving. Not all of the people were pilgrims, but the people in Plymouth were. They were looking to become religiously free, to serve who they wanted, because in England they were told what to worship, who to worship, how to worship, and they wanted more freedom. So as you learn about these communities, think about the hardships faced by these three groups of settlers. Why did some settlers survive while others did not? And we'll get the chance to see why they did or did not. So I don't want you working on here. If you do it on here, that's fine, but you still then have a worksheet, and it looks just like this. It's got Monday, make sure your name goes on, and then it says preview at the top. And it's got a little notebook. It doesn't have lines, and that's okay. So it says, suppose that you are going to attend school in another country. It doesn't matter which country. If you want to pick a country, you can. But in that scenario, you don't know the language. You don't know your way around the new school building. You don't know any of the school traditions. I want you to write a few paragraphs, at least two, about this experience or what this experience might be like. What challenges would you face? How would you meet those challenges? So, paragraph 1. Explain to me what challenges you have. And then this should be paragraph 2. So just think about if you didn't know a language, how would you handle going into a new school? If you didn't know what the school looked like, how would you know what to do? And maybe for some of you who have been at different schools, you know what that's like even when you speak the same language. So go ahead and do that, and then you are all set for today in social studies.